Hello students, today we will do exercise 3.2 of matrices. In this exercise we will study about addition of matrices and multiplication of matrices. Now let us start with addition of matrices. The sum of two matrices is a matrix obtained by adding the corresponding elements of the given matrices. Furthermore, the two matrices have to be of the same order. Now here I have taken two matrices A and B of the same order 2 by 3. Now matrix A, the first row of matrix A is A11, A12, A13 and second row is A21, A22 and A23. Similarly matrix B, first row of matrix B is B11, B12, B13 and second row is B21, B22, B23. Now the sum of matrices is defined if first of all the two matrices should be of the same order, and here I have two matrices A and B of the same order 2 by 3. So we can add these matrices. Now what will be the sum of the matrices? Now as you see here, the sum of the two matrices is obtained by adding the corresponding elements of the given matrices. Now in order to find out the first element of the sum of the matrices, or you can say the first element of the first row, we will add the first element of first row of both matrices A and B. Now the first element will be A11 plus B11. Now second element will be obtained by adding the second element of the first row, that is A12 plus B12. Now third element will be A13 plus B13. Similarly, we can obtain other elements by adding the corresponding elements of A and B. Now come to the properties of matrix addition. Commutative law. Now a matrix always follows commutative law. A matrix addition always follows commutative law. If A equal to Aij and B equal to Bij are two matrices of the same order. As we know, if we are adding the matrices, they should be of same order, say m by n. Then we can say that sum of A and B is equal to sum of B and A, or we can say A plus B is equal to matrix B plus A. Second one is associative law. For any three matrices, A equal to Aij, B equal to Bij and C equal to Cij of the same order m by n, we can say that A plus B plus C will be equal to A plus B plus C. That means if we add matrix A and B and then to their sum, if we add matrix C, that will give us the same result as we get on adding matrix B plus C and then adding matrix A to the sum of B plus C. Now third property of addition is existence of additive identity. Now let A equal to Aij be an m by n matrix and O be an m by n zero matrix, then A plus O is equal to O plus A and that equal to A. And this means that O is the additive identity of a matrix addition. Now let us understand this with the help of an example. Now I have taken here matrix A. Its elements are 2, 3, 4, 5. Now additive identity means additive identity of the matrix A will be the matrix which when added to matrix A gives us the result as matrix A, or you can say which when you can say a matrix when added to matrix A gives us the result as A is called the additive identity of a matrix. Now here A matrix was 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the matrix to be added, I have left it blank, and this is giving us the result as A, that is 2, 3, 4, 5. Now as we know, the sum of matrices, the corresponding elements of the matrices are added. Now what should be added to 2 so that we get result as 2? That means 2 plus 0 will be equal to 2. That means 0 should be added to matrix into 2 to get the result as 2. Similarly, 3 plus 0 will be 3, or 4 plus 0 will be 4, and 5 plus 0 will be 5. Conversely, we can say that if we add 0 matrix to matrix A, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, we will get result as 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is matrix A again. That means 0 matrix is the additive identity of a matrix. The fourth one is the existence of additive inverse. Now let Aij be a matrix of order m by n, and there is another matrix that is minus Aij of the same order m by n, such that A plus minus A equal A plus minus A equal to minus A plus A equal to 0 matrix. Then we can say that minus A is the additive inverse of matrix A. Now additive inverse of a matrix is the matrix which when added to the given matrix give us the result as the additive identity of a matrix. As we know, the additive identity of a matrix is a 0 matrix. Now we have to find a matrix which when added to A, suppose that is B matrix. If we say that if a matrix A is added to B matrix, it gives us the 0 matrix, or we can say if matrix B is added to matrix A gives us the 0 matrix, then we can say A is the B is inverse, additive inverse of matrix A. Now if I am taking here, suppose matrix A is 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what should be added to this matrix A in order to get 0 matrix? Now if you see here, now 2 plus we add corresponding elements of the matrix on adding the matrices. Now what will be added to 2 to give us result as 0? That means we should add minus 2 to 2 to give us a result as 0. So 2 minus 2 will be 0. Similarly, 3 minus 3 will be equal to 0. 4 minus 4 will be equal to 0, and 5 minus 5 will be equal to 0. Now what is that? Means this matrix is inverse of matrix A. Now inverse of matrix, if we see here, the inverse matrix we are getting here is minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, and that if we equate matrix A and inverse matrix, then we see that this inverse matrix is negative of matrix A. That means we can say this is negative of matrix A, or we can say that additive inverse of a matrix A is minus A. Additive inverse of a matrix A is minus A. After addition of matrices, our next topic is multiplication of matrices by a scalar. Now how can we multiply a scalar to a matrix? Now suppose there is a matrix Aij of order m by n, and k is any scalar, then Ka, that means k multiplied to matrix A, is another matrix. Now we will get a matrix on multiplying a constant with a matrix, which is obtained by multiplying each element of A by the scalar k. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Now here I have taken a matrix A, and that is of order 2 rows and 3 columns, so 2 by 3. Now its first row is 2, 4, 1, and second row is 3, 5, 6. Now if you want to find 2A, here 2 is the scalar which is being multiplied to the matrix A. Now if we want to multiply a scalar with a matrix, then all the elements of the matrix A will be multiplied by that scalar. That means 2A will be 2 into 2, that will be equal to 4, 2 into 4, that will be 8, 2 into 1 will be equal to 2, 2 into 3 will be 6, and 2 into 5 will be 10. Similarly, 2 into 6 will be 12. Now, multiplication of matrices. Now, for multiplication of two matrices A and B, the number of columns in A should be equal to the number of rows in B. Now, we should keep in mind, if you are multiplying two matrices A and B, the number of columns of matrix A should be equal to number of rows of matrix B. Furthermore, for getting the elements of the product matrix, we take rows of A and columns of B. Now, if we are multiplying matrix A with matrix B, then we will take row of A and columns of B, and then multiply them element wise, and we will take their sum to get the product AB. Now, formally, in another language, we can say that the product of two matrices A and B is defined if the number of columns of A is equal to the number of rows of B. Let A equal to Aij be an M by N matrix, and B equal to Bij be an N by P matrix. Now, order of the matrix A is M by N, and order of the matrix B is N by P. The product of matrices A and B is the matrix C of order M by N. Now, here if you see, the number of columns in matrix A are N and number of rows in matrix B are N, and these are same. So we can say that matrix A and B can be multiplied, or we can find out the product AB. Suppose the product of matrix A and B is matrix C, then order of that matrix will be rows of first matrix by rows of columns of second matrix, and that is M by P. To get the ikth element Cik, that is Cik, because we are taking product as C, the Cik of a matrix C, we take the ith row of matrix A and kth column of matrix B, multiply them element wise, and take the sum of all these products. Now, let us understand the product of matrices with the help of an example. Now, I have taken two matrices A and B. Matrix A is of order here 2 by 3. It has 2 rows and 3 columns. Now, again, matrix B is of order 1, 2, 3. 3 rows and 2 columns, 3 by 2. Now, if you want to find the product A, B, then the number of columns of the first matrix, that is 3 here, should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix, and that is also 3. So we can say the number of columns of the first matrix are equal to number of rows of the second matrix. That means here the product of the matrices is defined, or we can find the product of the matrices. Now, in order to find the product of the matrices, we know that ikth element of the product, that is Cik, of the matrix C, we take the ith row of A and kth column of B. Now, that means we have to take ith row of A and kth column of B. Now, see here, ith row of this first element is C11, that is first element of first row, C11. That means this first row 1 of, we will take row 1 of matrix 1 and column 1 of matrix second. Yeah, you can say row 1 of matrix A and column 1 of matrix B. Now, row 1 of matrix A and column 1 of matrix B, and this will give us the product as 1 into 2 will be 2, minus 1 into minus 1 will be 1, 2 into 5 will be 10, and we will take their sum, and their sum is equal to 13. Similarly, here we want to find the first row second element of the product, so we will take first row from matrix A and second column from the matrix B. Now, first row and second column will multiply first row and second column. So 1 into 7 will be 7, minus 1 into 1 will be minus 1, and 2 into minus 4 will be minus 8, and this is giving us the sum as minus 2. Similarly, this element is of second row and first column, or we can say the first element of second row, C21. That means we will take the C2 to this first denotes the row of the matrix A, and the second element denotes the column of the matrix B. That means we will take second row of matrix A and first column of matrix B. Now second row and first column will be multiplied. That means 0 into 2 will be equal to 0, 3 into minus 1 will be minus 3, and 4 into 5 will be 20, and that will give us sum as 17. Similarly, the last element, this is of row 2 and column 2. So we will multiply second row of matrix A and second column of matrix B. Now this 0, second row is 0, 3, 4, and second column matrix B is 7, 1, 4, minus 4. 0 into 7 will be 0, 3 into 1 will be 3, and 4 into minus 4 will be minus 16, and this is giving us sum as minus 13. That means our product of A, B is 13 minus 2, 17 minus 13. Now as we see here, the number of rows of first matrix is equal to 2, A matrix is equal to 2, and number of columns of the matrix B is equal to 2. That means the product AB will be of order 2 by 2, and that is of order 2 by 2. Now in multiplication, we should always keep in mind that the rows of first matrix are multiplied to the column of the second matrix. Now if we are finding the element Cij of the product matrix of AB, then row ith row of A will be multiplied by jth column of B. That means if we want to find C11, we will multiply the row 1 of A and column 1 of B. If you are finding C32, we will multiply third row of A and second column of B, and that will give us the product of the matrices. Now, properties of multiplication of matrices. First of all is associative law. Now for any three matrices A, B and C, AB into C is equal to A into B plus C. That means product of matrices follow the associative law. That means for any three matrices, if product of A, B, C and is defined, then we can say that if we first multiply matrix A and B and then to their product we multiply the matrix C, that will give us the same result as on multiplying matrices B and C first, and to their product if we are multiplying matrix A to their product, then these two will give the same result. But it should be remembered that whenever we are multiplying the two matrices, the number of columns of the first matrix will be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. Now distributive law. Now for three matrices A, B and C, A into B plus C is equal to AB plus AC, and A plus B into C will be equal to AC plus BC. That means the product of matrices under addition follows the distributive law. Existence of multiplicative identity. Now in order to find the multiplicative identity, now we should always keep in mind that multiplicative identity exists only for square matrix. Now for every square matrix A, there exists an additive multiplicative identity, or we can say कि for every square matrix A there exists an identity matrix of the same order such that identity matrix into A matrix equal to A into identity matrix equal to A. Now, as far as commutative law, the commutative law doesn't follow the multiplication of matrices. That means matrix A into B will not be equal to matrix B into A. Now come to the exercise 3.2. Here matrix A, B and C are given to us. We have to find A plus B, second A minus B, third is 3A minus C, fourth one is AB and fifth one is BA. Three matrices A, B and C are given to us. Now our first part was we have to find A plus B. A plus B, this is matrix A and this is matrix B. Now we have to add these two matrices. Now in addition, first of all we will see whether the order of matrix A is equal to the matrix B or not. And here as we see, the order of matrix A is 2 by 2 and order of matrix B is also 2 by 2 and that is same. So we can add these two matrices. Now in addition is done by adding the corresponding elements of matrices. That means the first element of addition will be 2 plus 1, second will be 4 plus 3, second element, second row, first element will be 3 plus minus 2 and last will be 2 plus 5, and that will give us the result as 3717. Now third part was we have to find 3A minus C. Now 3A, this is matrix A given to us, minus C. C matrix was also given to us. Now as we know, if a scalar is multiplied to a matrix, then it is multiplied to all its elements. That means 3 will be multiplied to all the elements of the matrix A. So this will be 3 into 2 6, 3 into 4 12, and similarly 3 into 3 9 and 3 into 2 will be 6. Now minus matrix C. Now again the sum and addition, in sum and addition of a matrices we add the corresponding elements of the matrices. That means A11 will be added to B11, A12 will be added to B12, C21, A21 will be added to B21 and A22 will be added to B22. This will be 6 minus minus 2, 12 minus 5, and similarly we can complete the second row, and that will give us the result as 8762. Now in fourth part we have to find the product of AB, that is A into B. Now this is matrix A and this one is matrix B that was given to us. Now we have to find their product. Now first of all, this matrix A is of order 2 by 2 and matrix B is of order 2 by 2. The number of columns of the first matrix is equal to 2 and number of rows of the second matrix are also 2, and these two are equal. That means the multiplication, your product AB is defined. Now after this, in order to find the product of the matrices, we multiply the rows to the column of the matrices, and then their sum will give us the elements of the matrices. Now here first of all we want to find the first element of first row. That means we will take the first row of A and first column of B. Suppose product of AB is C, then we want to find C11. So this denotes the row of 1 and second element denotes second number denotes the column of B. So we have to multiply row 1 of A to the column 1 of B. So 2 into 1 will be 2, then plus 4 into minus 2 will be minus 8. Now similarly, the second element will be C row 1, second element, yeah, row 1 or column 2 belongs to column 2. That means we have to multiply row 1 of matrix A, yeah, first matrix, to the column 2 of second matrix. That will be 2 into 3 6 plus 4 into 5 20, and then after that we will take their sum. Similarly, this element is of row 2 and column 1. That means row 2 of matrix A and column 1 of matrix B will be multiplied to get this element. That will be 3 into 1 will be 3 plus 2 into minus 2 will be minus 4. And similarly we can find out C 2 2, that is column row 2 and element of row 2 and column 2. That means we have to multiply row 2 of matrix A and column 2 of matrix B, and that is giving us resultant matrix as minus 6, 26, minus 1 and 19. Now in question number 2 we have to compute the sum of the matrices. Now sum of the matrices we have already done in question first, that is first part of question first was A plus B, and as we have done in question first we can compute the sum of the matrices. Now question number 3 is compute the indicated product. Now we have to find the product of the matrices. Now first of all we will check whether the number of columns of the first matrix are equal to number of rows of the second matrix. If number of columns of the first matrix are equal to number of rows of the second matrix, then the product of the matrices is defined, and after that we can find the product of matrices as we have done in fourth part of question first. Now I am doing question number 7. Now here in question number 7 we have to find matrix X and Y if second part 2x plus 3y is 2 3 4 0 and 3x plus 2y is equal to 2 minus 2 minus 1 5. Now these two equations are given to us. Now we will solve such type of questions by elimination method, which we have studied in class 10th. Now our first step will be to make the coefficients of x or y as same, and then eliminate one of the variables x or y, one of the matrices x or y. Now if we are eliminating x from both the equations, then we will make their variable same. Now LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. Now we will get 6 on multiplying 3 to the first equation and 6 on multiplying 2 to the second equation. That means, and then after subtracting, x will be eliminated. That means we have to multiply 3 to the first equation and 2 to the second equation, and on subtracting this will eliminate 6. Now first matrix after multiplying with 3 will become 3 into 2 will be 6 and 3 into 3 will be 9y. Now after that 3 will be multiplied to the matrix 2 3 4 0, and as we know the scalar is multiplied to all of its elements. We are getting 3 into 2 6, 3 into 3 9 and 3 into 4 that will be 12, and 3 into 0 will be 0. Similarly we will multiply the second matrix by 2. Now on multiplying the second matrix by 2 we are getting it as 6x plus 4y equal to 4 minus 2 10. Now on subtracting these two, now for subtraction I am changing the sign of the matrices. Now this 6x minus 6x will cancel out, 9 minus 4y will be 5y, and here 6 9 12 0 matrix having these elements minus matrix 4 minus 4 minus 2 10. Now here we will subtract these two matrices by subtracting the corresponding elements of the matrices, and we are getting result as 2 13 14 minus 10. Now this is value of 5y. We want to find the value of matrix y. For that we will divide both sides by 5. So this will give us y equal to 1 by 5 into matrix 2, 13, 14 minus 10. Now again 1 by 5 is a scalar and we have to multiply it to the matrix. So we will multiply 1 by 5 to all its elements, giving us a result as 2 by 5, 13 by 5, 14 by 5 and minus 2. After obtaining the value of y, we can put it in any of the equations first or second to find out the value of x. Here I am taking equation second. In equation second, 3x plus 2y was equal to the matrix 2 minus 1, 5. And if we want to find the value of x, so we'll take 2y to the right hand side and then put the value of y in it. Now again, scalar is being multiplied to the matrix. That means 2 will be multiplied to all its elements. Now it is subtraction of we have to subtract these two matrices, and as we know, the two matrices are subtracted by subtracting its corresponding elements. That means this will be 2 minus 4 by 5 minus 2 minus 26 by 5 and so on. Now after solving this, we are getting a matrix 2 by 5 minus 36 by 5, and second row of the matrix is minus 33 by 5 and 9. Now this was the value of 3x. In order to find the value of x, we will divide the both sides by 3, and this will give us x equal to 1 by 3 into matrix whose first row is 2 by 5 minus 36 by 5 and second row is minus 33 by 5 and 9. Now on multiplying 1 by 3 to the matrix, we will get the value of x. Now come to question number 12. Here it is given that 3 into matrix x, y, z, w is equal to the sum of the two matrices x6 minus 1 2w and 4 x plus y, z plus w and 3. And we have to find the values of x, y, z and w. Now as 3 is being multiplied to a matrix, 3 will be multiplied to all its elements, giving us 3x, 3y, 3z and 3w. Now here these two matrices should be added, and we know that in addition we have to add the corresponding elements of the matrices, and on adding the corresponding elements of the matrices we will get row first as x plus 4 and second element of row 1 is x plus y plus 6. Similarly, row second will be minus 1 plus z plus w and 2w plus 3. Now as we know, the two matrices are equal if they are of the same order. Here both the matrices are of order 2 by 2 and their corresponding elements are equal. That means 3x will be equal to x plus 4, 3y will be equal to x plus y plus 6, 3z will be equal to minus 1 plus z plus w and 3w will be equal to 2w plus 3. See Aij, if this is matrix A and this is matrix B, so ijth element of matrix A will be equal to ikth element of matrix B. Now here 3x equal to x plus 4 is giving us x equal to 2, 3y equal to x plus y plus 6 is giving us the value of y as 4 after putting the value of x as 2. Now in fourth equation we can say in last C here A22 and B22 will be equal to 3w equal to 2w plus 3 will give us the value of w, and 3z equal to minus 1 plus z plus w after putting the value of w from equation third will give us the value of z. So we are getting the value of x as 2, y as 4, w as 3 and z as 1. In 13th question, matrix fx is given to us and we have to prove that fx into fy is equal to fx plus y. Here fx is given to us as cos x minus sin x 0, sin x cos x 0, 0, 0, 1. Now we want to find fx into fy. The fx is already given to us, and in case of fy the variable will change in place of x we will take y. Now on multiplying these two matrices, now as we know the number of columns, that is 3, order of this first matrix is 3 by 3 and second is also 3 by 3. So number of columns of the first matrix is equal to number of rows of the second matrix. So its multiplication is defined. The product is defined. In order to find the product, we will multiply the row 1 of the matrix with the columns of the matrix to get the row 1 of the resultant, row 2 of the matrix to the columns of the matrix again to get the resultant row 2, and then similarly by multiplying the columns by row 3 of the first matrix we will get the column 3rd of the resultant matrix. Now this is giving us result as cos x cos y minus sin x sin y plus 0. Here minus cos x sin y plus sin x cos y equal cos y. Last term we are getting as 0. Now similarly on multiplying the second row by first column we will get sin x cos y plus cos x sin y. 0 plus 0 will be 0. Now second element of second row will be sin x minus sin y. We will multiply sin x minus sin y, that will give us minus sin x minus sin x sin y and plus cos x cos y, and 0 into 0 will be 0. Now third will be sin x into 0 will be 0 and third element will be 0. Now third row 0 into cos y will be 0, 0 into sin y will be 0, 1 into 0 will be 0. And similarly second element of the third row will also be 0. Now last element of the third row will be 0 into 0 will be 0, 0 into 0 will be 0, and 1 into 1 will be 1. Now this first one cos x cos y minus sin x sin y is equal to cos x plus y. This is formula for x plus y. Now here we will take negative sign common, and on taking it common we are getting cos x sin y plus sin x cos y. Now sin x cos y plus cos x sin y is formula for sin x plus y. Third element is 0. Now here it is formula sin x cos y plus cos x sin y is formula for sin x plus y, and minus cos x cos y minus sin x sin y is a formula for cos x plus y. Last element is 0, then 0 0 1. Now as we see here, we are getting, our question was this one. In our question fx was given to us as cos x minus sin x 0, sin x cos x 0 and 0 0 1. If we see fx and fx into fy, the product which we are getting, in place the whole function is almost the same. In place of x, here we are getting x plus y only, and other functions are same. So we can say that in place of x we are getting x plus y. That means this one is function f x plus y, and that was our right hand side. Now come to the question number 17. We are first of all doing question number 16. In question number 16, matrix A is given to us and we have to prove that a cube minus 6a square plus 7a plus 2i equal to 0. Matrix A is given to us. Now we have to find a cube and a square first of all. Now a square will be matrix A into matrix A, and we are getting a after multiplying matrix A with matrix A. We are getting a square as 5, first row as 5 0 8, second row is 2 4 5, and third row is 8 0 13. Now after that, in order to find a cube, we will multiply a with a square. Now a matrix A is already given to us, and a square we have just obtained the value of a square. We will multiply these two matrices to get the matrix A cube. Now after this, we have to prove that a cube minus 6a square plus 7a plus 2i is equal to O, or 0 matrix. Now for that I am taking left hand side. Now a is a cube we have just obtained the value of a cube and a square. We'll put the values of a cube, a square, a and I here. Now identity matrix will be of the same matrix of which this a cube, a square or a matrix is. And here I have taken the identity matrix of 3 by 3 order because the matrix A given to us is also of 3 by 3 order. Now here where scalar is being multiplied to a matrix, so a scalar will be multiplied to all its elements. Here also 7 will be multiplied to all the elements of the matrix and 2 will be multiplied to all the elements of the matrices. And after that we can find the sum and difference of the matrix, and it is giving us the answer as 0 matrix, and that is represented by O, which was our right hand side. Now in 17th question, matrix A and identity matrix are given to us. We have to find the value of K such that A square equal to Ka minus 2i. Here matrix A is given to us. Now we have to find value of A square. We will find the matrix A square, that will matrix A into matrix A, and we are getting A square as 1 minus 2, 4 minus 4. Now here after that a relation is given to us that A square equal to Ka minus 2i. A square is equal to Ka minus 2i. A square, we have already obtained the value of A square, now equal to K into matrix A, that was given to us, minus 2 into identity matrix of 2 by 2 order. Now this again, if a scalar is multiplied to a matrix, then it will be multiplied to all its elements, and here also 2 will be multiplied to all the elements of the identity matrix. Now on solving right hand side, we are getting it as 3k minus 2 minus 2k, 4k minus 2k minus 2. Now these two matrices are equal, and if two matrices are equal, then their corresponding elements should be equal. That means 1 will be equal to 3k minus 2, and that is giving us result as 1. Now other elements will also give us the same result, that is minus 2 equal to minus 2k will also give us k equal to 1. 4 equal to 4k is giving us k equal to 1, and similarly minus 4 equal to minus 2k minus 2 will also give us value as 1. Now if we are getting two different values of A on equating two different corresponding terms, suppose from 1 equal to 3k minus 2 we are getting another value, or minus 4 equal to minus 2k minus 2, if we get different values from after equating, then we can say that value of k cannot be obtained. But here we are getting the same values from each corresponding elements after equating each corresponding element, so we can say the value of k is equal to 1. Now come to question number 18. This is an important question. Now if A is equal to matrix A is equal to 0 minus 10 alpha by 2, 10 alpha by 2 0, and I is the identity matrix of order 2 by 2, we have to prove that identity matrix plus A matrix equal to identity matrix minus A matrix, and this whole is multiplied to cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha. Now here matrix A is given to us, and we have to prove that I plus A equal to I minus A cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, where I is the identity matrix. Now if you see here, matrix A is in the form of 10 alpha by 2, and in matrix in our proof the right hand side is given in the form of cos alpha sin alpha cos alpha. So we will convert this cos alpha and sin alpha in form of 10 alpha by 2. As you know, cos alpha is equal to 1 minus 10 square alpha by 2 upon 1 plus 10 square alpha by 2, and sin alpha is equal to 2 10 alpha by 2 upon 1 plus 10 square alpha by 2. So we have converted sin alpha and cos alpha in terms of 10. Yeah, written the cos alpha and sin alpha in terms of 10 alpha by 2. Now on taking 10 alpha by 2 as t, if you take 10 alpha by 2 as t, we will get cos alpha as 1 minus t square upon 1 plus t square, and sin alpha will be 2t upon 1 plus t square. And matrix A will become as 0 minus t, t 0. Now we will take left hand side, that was I plus A. So I, identity matrix of 2 by 2, will be 0 1 0 0 1, plus A matrix was in forms of T was 0 minus T, T 0, and that will give us the result as 1 minus T, T 1. Now come to the right hand side. We have to note that I minus A equal to cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha. So I is equal to 1 0 0 1 minus A matrix was 0 minus T, T 0. Now cos alpha was 1 minus T square upon 1 plus T square, and sin alpha was 2T upon 1 plus T square. So in place of cos alpha, we will take 1 minus T square upon 1 plus T square. In place of sin alpha, we will take 2T upon 1 plus T square. Now, after solving these two, that is I minus A, we are getting the matrix as 1T minus T and 1. Now we will multiply this matrix with the matrix having the elements as 1 minus T square upon 1 plus T square minus 2T upon 1 plus T square, 2T upon 1 plus T square, and 1 minus T square upon 1 plus T square. Now on multiplying these two matrices, we are getting the resultant as 1 plus T square upon 1 plus T square, that is equal to 1, minus T cube upon 1 plus T square. In this we can take minus T as common, and we will get the another factor as 1 plus T square, and that will cancel out, and it will give us answer as minus T. Now in the second row first element we can take T as common, and after taking T as common we are getting this element second row first element as T, and the last element is again T square plus 1 upon 1 minus T square equal to 1, and this is our left hand side, that was 1 minus T, T 1. In question number 19, a trust has rupees 30,000 that must be invested in two different types of bonds. The first bond pays 5% interest per year, and the second bond pays 7% interest per year. Using metric multiplication, determine how to divide rupees 30,000 among the two types of bonds if the trust fund must obtain an annual total interest of rupees 1800. Now let us suppose that is sum invested in first bond by rupees X, as the total sum invested was 30,000. So sum invested in second bond will be 30,000 minus X. Now interest paid in first bond is 5% per year, and interest paid in second bond is 7% per year. Total annual interest is given to as 1800. Now take the sum invested in a row matrix and the interest paid by each bond per year in a column matrix. That is 5% can be written as 5 by 100, 7% can be written as 7 by 100, and the total interest is given to as 1800. Now after multiplying our left hand side, we are getting a matrix as 5 having a single element as 5x plus 2,10,000 minus 7x upon 100, and our right hand side is 1800. Now as we know, two matrices are equal if their corresponding elements are equal. That means 5x plus 2,10,000 minus 7x upon 100 will be equal to 1800, and this is giving us x as 15,000. Thus we can say that the sum invested in first bond is rupees 15,000, and sum invested in second bond was 30,000 minus x, that will give us 15,000. In question number 21 and 22, X, Y, Z, W and P, 5 matrices are given to us whose orders are 2 by n, 3 by k, 2 by p, n by 3 and p by k. Now we have to choose the correct answer in question number 21 and 22. In question number 21, we have to find the restriction on n, k and p so that py plus wy will be well defined. Now order of matrix x, y, z, w and p are given to us. Now he is saying that py plus wy will be defined. You have to find the restrictions on n, k and p. Now py, we will take first of all this separately. Now py is well defined if number of columns of p is equal to number of rows of y. Now here matrix p is of order p by k and matrix y is of order 3 by k. Now here the number of columns of p should be equal to number of columns of y. Then only we can find the product py. So this k should be equal to 3, and the order of py, after multiplying p and y, we will get a matrix of order p by k, that is number of rows of p and number of columns of y. Now second matrix was wy. Now w is of order n by 3, here it is given to us, and y is of order 3 by k. Is defined if number of columns of w are equal to number of rows of y, and here both are equal, so we can say that wy can be obtained and its order will be n by k. The order of wy is n by k. Now py plus wy. Now py is an order of p by k and wy is of order of n by k. Now this sum is defined if the order of py is equal to w of is the order of wy, because two matrices can be added only if their order is same. That means p should be equal to n, and here number of columns are equal in both the matrices, so p should be equal to n. So now we can say that p should be equal to n. Now the restrictions on p, n and k are that k is equal to 3 and p is equal to n, and that is our option A. In question number 22, here if n is equal to p, then we have to find the order of 7x minus 5z. Now 7x minus 5z, to 7x, order of 7x will be equal to order of x, and that was given to us 2 by n. Similarly, order of 5z will be equal to the order of z, and that was given to us as 2 by p. Now as it is given to us that n is equal to p, so in place of p we can write it as n. So the order of z, order of 5z can be written as 2 by n. Now as we see here, 7x minus 5y. Now 7x has the order 2 by n, and order of 5z is also 2 by n. So we can say that order of 7x minus 5z will be either 2 by n or 2 by 2. So our correct option is option B.